Right now, we are seeing traffic plummeting. People are not going places because there are so many infections. But as China emerges from COVID-0, what's the impact going to be on oil?
Yeah, so China right now is the biggest wild card for the crude market. It depends. So on the one hand, if China, or when China reopens, we can see an increase in COVID cases, but at the same time, we can see more traffic and more demand for crude. So as an example, Citigroup expects when China reopens, it can increase demand for crude by about 700 barrels a day, year over year, maybe even more, depends on how quickly it reopens. But definitely it's going to be a positive impact, an upside surprise for crude.
What about broader price forecasts that we're seeing for next year? What are we hearing?
So if we look at forecasts from the biggest banks, the biggest oil strategists, overall prices are quite high. So let's start with Bank of America. They expect Brent at $100 a barrel. So potentially they see that it can spike to $110 a barrel in the second quarter of 2022. They say that downside risks are somewhat limited, but when it comes to upside risks, they can come, first of all, from the European Union's embargo on Russian crude. Secondly, faster than expected reopening of the Chinese economy. And finally, probably pivot from the U.S. Federal Reserve in the first quarter of 2023. And then Goldman Sachs, they also expect Brent at $98 a barrel, WTI at $92. The key message from Goldman's group is that the crude and commodities market in general has been dominated by the US dollar in 2022. For 2023, the biggest story will be capex. Unless we have sufficient capex, we will see shortages, prices will remain elevated and high.